Welcome, everyone. Good evening once again. My name is Boyende Onijala, and I'm the Director of Communications and Community Outreach for Team BCPS. We are so glad that you are here with us this evening. Dr. Yarbrough is really excited and looking forward to sharing some of her visions, her goals, her thoughts with you. And we most certainly want to hear from you. You'll have an opportunity to ask questions. So thank you. This is the final meet and greet session. We have had now a total of 8, so round of applause for everyone. It has been quite a journey. We have gone all over Baltimore County, and as Dr. Yarbrough is going to share later on this evening, this is just the start, really. She is committed to getting out into the community, engaging with all members of Team BCPS. And so tonight is really just kind of setting that foundation. And so tonight what we have planned for you, we're gonna share a video from the county executive. We're gonna hear a few remarks from a member of the Board of Education. Then Dr. Yarbrough is gonna come up, share just a little bit about her leadership philosophy, core values, the focus areas for the system. We're gonna have some table time where we'll discuss and answer some questions. You'll have an opportunity to report out, and then we'll have a general question and answer portion. So before we kind of kick off the official program, I do want to recognize some distinguished guests who are here with us this evening. And if you hear your name, if you don't mind standing so you can be acknowledged and recognized, we have the Speaker of the House, Adrian Jones. Wow. Thank you so much. Incredible. We are so glad that you are here with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Our Honorable County Council Chairman, Julian Jones. Thank you, sir. We have Kim Shiloh representing Senator Ben Brooks. Could you stand to be recognized? Kim Shiloh. Denise Espy representing Delegate Jennifer White. Please stand. Oh, yes, yes. Dr. Brenda Savoy from the Board of Education, please stand. Tierra Brooker-Dyer, please stand to be recognized, Baltimore County Board of Education. Dr. Geraldine Connor, the Parent Family Lead from Governor Wes Moore's office. Thank you, thank you. Senator Shelley Heddleman, please stand to be recognized. Delegate Dana Stein, please stand to be recognized. Councilman Izzy Patoka, please stand. Hello, sir, welcome. And Delegate N. Scott Phillips, please stand. Wow, we are in the room with some very important people, but all of you who are here, please give yourselves a round of applause because we're here for you. Did I miss any of our elected officials, other distinguished guests? Oh, and Christina Pumphrey, I'm so sorry, Board of Education, Baltimore County. Christina, I'm sorry, and I saw you. Sorry, okay, all right, we're excited. Let's get started. So, as I shared, we have a video from the county executive. Then Ms. Booker-Dwyer is gonna come up and share a few remarks. Then we'll hear from Dr. Yarbrough. Just a few housekeeping things you'll see on your tables. Feedback question cards. There are a lot of people in this room. We're gonna do our best to get to every single question, comment that you may have as we report out from the tabletop activity. But if we don't, if we run out of time, we ask that you kindly please write your question down, your comment, and we are compiling all of this information and sharing it with Dr. Yarbrough. We're gonna be posting information on the website as we compile and kind of pull out the themes that we've heard from these now 8 meetings. When we come around to your table to report out from the tabletop activity and you're answering questions, we ask that you select one spokesperson who will share out one item from each question. We are going to hold on to the mics because we know people get excited when they get a microphone in their hands. So please don't take the microphone from us. We need to hold on to it so we can get to everyone. And I promise that if we do this, we'll be able to get to many more questions because people will be following the rules, and we thank you in advance. So let's play this video from the county executive, and then we'll have Ms. Booker-Dwyer come up and share some remarks.
Hey folks, Baltimore County Executive Johnny O here, and I just want to thank you and Dr. Myriam Yarbrough for being present tonight. as she conducts her town halls and her meet and greets as she prepares to become our new BCPS superintendent. I have to say I'm really excited about the future of the school system and working with her and all of you. As county executive, as a former teacher, and now as the parent of a second grader in our county school system. But I really just want to thank all the faculty and staff members for being here and all you do, the community members, and Dr. Yarbrough for being available and transparent and accessible in this process. I really look forward to all that we're going to do together in partnership in the years ahead. Thanks again for coming out tonight.
All right, thank you, Mr. County Executive. Okay, Tara, here.
Right, good evening, Baltimore County community, and welcome to tonight's meet and greet. I am Tiara Booker Dwyer. I am an appointed board member for the Baltimore County Public School System. And on behalf of the Board of Education, I want to thank you for being here. You are in for a phenomenal evening where your voice is going to be heard to help to improve our school system. You're going to learn about Dr. Yarbrough's, her leadership priorities. You'll be able to ask questions and share your feedback. We want to hear from you. We have other members of the board also attending tonight because we want to know what's working well and what are some areas of improvement. The board believes Dr. Yarbrough has the experience, passion, and vision to serve Baltimore County Public Schools. And let me tell you all, she does it with style, grace, and compassion. She's a thoughtful leader who is prepared to respond to the urgent needs of Baltimore County Public Schools. So please join me in welcoming the one and only, our phenomenal, phenomenal superintendent, Dr. Myriam Yarbrough.
Somebody's got it. I want to be with him. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for spending time with me this evening. I want to share some information with you about myself, who I am, my leadership style, and what I see as our priorities as we move ahead. But as Ms. Onijala shared and Ms. Booker Dwyer shared, I really want to hear from you this evening. I really want to give you an opportunity to share feedback for your response to a few key questions that I want to know about what your experiences are, what your challenges are, so we can make sure that we're incorporating the feedback and input from all members across Team BCPS as we move forward with our plans. The first thing that I have said, and as they have shared, this is number 8 of 8. Some people said save the best for last. I'm not the one who said that. I'm excited to be here. I am excited to be at the school where the principal of this school is married to a woman that I taught at Woodlawn High School. And they have 2 wonderful children together. So I'm very excited to be here this evening. I have shared, as I've met in all other communities, but also as I've met across Team BCPS Central Office with different offices and departments, that my greatest accomplishment to date has been and will always be being a mother. I am a mom of 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls, and they range in age from 31 to 14. He turned 31 a few weekends ago. Absolutely, that's their age. And what's wonderful about them is they're all very different at different times. They keep me current, they inform my perspective, and they also give me reason when I come to work, when I lead, that I'm thinking about what I want for them is what I want for the students that you have entrusted me with their care. And so my leadership really is rooted in one most important core, which is students come first in all that we do. As we make decisions, whether we're talking about fiscal decisions, we're talking about process decisions, policy decisions or recommendations that we're making to the Board of Education, we're making sure that students are at the forefront of the conversations that we're having and the deliberate decisions that we're making moving forward. As Ms. Onijala said, this is step 1 of the community meet and greets. This will continue because it's important to me that we engage as a community. It's important to me that we all work together moving forward to meet the needs of our students and by extension, our staff members across Team BCPS. I appreciate you guys being here. You will always hear the truth from me. I will always make sure that I extend you the same respect that we are going to extend to our students and our staff, because that's extremely important. I also want you to feel empowered, and hopefully this evening, if the other 7 meetings are any indication, feel empowered to share the true challenges as well as the celebrations across Team BCPS. It's only by knowing our challenges that we can move forward. So it's okay to point them out, and then with that responsibility to point them out, my expectation is we all have collective responsibility to start with the problem solving. We all are invested in Team BCPS, and so it's going to take all of us to move forward, to be open and honest in order to meet the needs of our students. And so on this slide, before I open it up to all of you, on this slide are the 4 priorities that I see moving into the role of superintendent across Team BCPS. This is informed by advisory group, by stakeholder feedback, by teachers, by principals, by parents, by students, by a thorough review and analysis of our data for a long period of time, in addition to taking a look at our data when our students move forward to post-secondary options. The first being academic achievement. We are a school system, and our #1 priority is to educate students. That's the end of the sentence. That's what we exist here for. And so we need to make sure that we're doing a better job of that. But in order to do that, we must take care of all the other 3 priorities that are on this list. And you can take them in any order. If we want to start with infrastructure, that's making sure that we are efficient and effective in our processes. That's making sure that we are not wasting time. So I'm very grateful that the Board of Education recently passed a contract, a very heavy investment in Team BCPS to make sure that we're moving forward with data integrity, that all of the systems that need to speak across Team BCPS are doing so seamlessly, because it affects every single employee that we have, as well as every employee that we're trying to attract to Team BCPS, including all of our operations members who, since the cyber attack, are going to multiple systems in order to keep the work moving forward. And so I am holding myself accountable for implementation according to the timeline that we have shared with the public and the Board of Education, and with our staff members, who some of them are sitting right at this table, who have been doing the double, triple, and quadruple work to keep us moving forward. Making sure that we have highly effective staff members, no matter what role, is extremely important. To me, part of that is recruitment. And so you've heard about some of the gains that we've made in recruitment in terms of salaries and in terms of incentivizing specific positions where we have higher needs across the system. But that's half of the work. The other piece of the work is retention. Part of retention is making sure that people have access to high quality professional learning so you can be your best self. But the other piece of that is making sure that you have voice, making sure that your input is valued, and whether you're in an office or you're in a school, you feel heard. And I have found that people are not afraid of hard work, but they want to know that as they're doing the work, their voice matters, and when they bring a problem, they bring a solution, and they want to see action as a result of the solution that they brought forward. And the last one is safety and climate. Unfortunately, over the last decade, nationally, we've seen some safety trends in schools that are unsettling. And so what you can expect to see is that we are leveraging our resources to leverage technology into the schools. We want schools to continue to feel like schools, but what we know from the research is, in a lot of the horrific incidents that have occurred, time has made a difference. And many people are either frozen in shock that an incident is happening, or many people are thinking someone else is calling 911. So there is technology that's available that allows us to connect to our law enforcement partners and other emergency personnel very quickly. And the other piece, as I said, is climate, making sure that every student, every adult, it feels valued, they feel included in our schools and in our offices, and if they have a problem, they have someone that they can go to seek support from. And so these are the priorities that we have identified through our lens. Nights like tonight let us find out whether or not what we're seeking to do moving forward is in alignment with your needs as member of our community. And so at this point, this is my favorite part, where you have an opportunity to share. I'm going to call back Ms. Onijala. She will give you the specific instructions, and then I'll be back.
I told you, she's amazing. Thank you, Dr. Yarbrough. What is going to happen now, we have staff members walking around with chart paper, and we're going to give every table a piece of chart paper, and you are going to respond to these 3 questions. What does BCPS do well that you would like to see us continue? What are your aspirations and hopes for BCPS? What are 2 areas of improvement that you would like to see addressed immediately? Now, at the last 7 meetings, no one's been shy, so feel free to use front and back of the chart paper. We can give you more chart paper if needed. But what we're gonna do when we walk around with the microphones is ask that you share one thing, one item from each of the 3 questions. So I know that some of you are gonna write 20 things that you think we're doing well. Great, but we ask that you only share one of those things. What are your aspirations and hopes? Please only share one. What are 2 areas of improvement? Only share one of them. That way we can get to every table in this room and still have time for you to ask Dr. Yarbrough the burning questions that you have and why you are here tonight. So again, my colleagues are walking around with chart paper. We're gonna give you 10 minutes. So you wanna get together quickly, talk through the questions quickly. They're up on the screen as well as on the chart up here in the front of the room. And then I will give you a 5-minute warning and then a 2-minute warning, and then we'll start to report out. So thank you so much. All right, if we can have your attention up front so we can get ready to report out. Before we do that, I do want to acknowledge Ms. Suhan. Could you raise your hand, please? There are so many people here, and I don't want you to leave without talking to Sue. She's amazing. She's here to give you information and resources from our family and community engagement team. So Suhan is the person that you want to know, as well as Javine Harden. Javine, if you could raise your hand. She's providing interpretation services and can connect with our multilingual families. So thank you, Sue. Thank you, Javine. All right. Oh, and I'm getting a note. I cannot read your handwriting, Tony.
Alethea McCaskill.
Delegate
Alethea McCaskill.
Delegate Alethea McCaskill, could you please stand to be recognized? Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sorry, Tony gave me some chicken scratch, so I couldn't really read what was going on there. But, all right, let's get started. Again, just a reminder of the rules. As Mo and Charlie raise your hands, please, so they see. As they walk around with the microphones, please don't take the microphone from them. Please don't, please don't. They're gonna hold on to it. Report out, share one thing from each question, and we're gonna move quickly. If we see that you're kind of launching into a long speech, we're gonna give you a gentle nudge and keep it moving, okay? Because we have a lot of people to get through. So I'm gonna get started with Mo. Mo, if you have your first spokesperson.
Yeah, why not?
I made my. Hello, Makita. My name is Makita. I've been, I guess, volunteered. So, what does BCPS do well? You said just one?
Yes, ma'am. Just one thing. One thing.
Okay. It's BCPS. They said headquarters communicates to schools very well. Aspirations for BCPS: technology that is up to date, and 2 areas for immediate improvement would be the APFO, so we do not have 115 students in 100 seats, overcrowding. Thank you.
I love that. She was our former board chair. If we can follow her example, please, and move as quickly as possible. Next table, Charlie.
Can everybody hear me? Yes. Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Zoe. I go to Sudbrook in Pikesville, and
what does BCPS do well, Zoe?
we didn't. The hopes and aspirations for BCS are more positive interaction when students are doing well or not, and get back to parents involved immediately, support teachers, staff, parents regarding time to many issues scheduling students here have needs.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you. Mo?
Hello, everyone. So one of the things that we wanted to say in regards to what we do well here is, besides communication, is that we have a dual enrollment program. And that's huge for our students as they're matriculating and going off to high school and also in college at the same time. And I can contest to that because my son just graduated from high school and has an associate's degree. So I'm really grateful for that. But the other thing that we wanted to comment on as far as improvement, and this young lady shared, and I really want to hear her story and share what she said. One of the things that she enjoys is that one-on-one connection. And that's really important for all of us to have that one-on-one. Although we're used to the telephone and we may not see that body language, but she addressed and shared that that one-on-one connection is important for all of us. So I just wanted us to share that one of the things that we can improve on is communicating, but having that one-on-one connection with other people. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Erica Lundy, and I'm over here with the lovely Owings Mills and Lyons Mill Elementary Schools. One thing that we would love to continue is that we love our new school board of education. We think that that is working very well this school year. Our hopes are for more feeder middle schools for our high achieving students, because we are seeing a high population of our high achieving students moving into private schools. And we would love to have SEL teachers for safety in elementary schools.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Tiara Johnson. I am a parent of a Randallstown High School student, and I also work in the Office of Staffing in HR. So one of the things that BCPS does well and that we're looking forward to is offering free breakfast and lunch for our students next year. One aspiration is safe and adequate workspaces for our students and staff. We would probably get better efficiency at work out of both populations if we can get that taken care of as soon as possible. And last but not least, better communication and transparency so that we are aware of what's going on so that we can work more effectively.
Hi, my name is Brandon Nance, a proud alumni here at the Randallstown High School. I just graduated this year, so still fresh and new. One thing that we at my table feel like Baltimore County does well is engaging seniors to go to college, apply to college, and go to college and career fairs. Number two, what are your aspirations and hopes for Baltimore County? To see more diversity in every school for teachers. And number three, making system-wide changes without it being thought through and adapting quickly to the change, and cell phone policies being enforced as well.
Mo?
Okay, sorry. Buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es Perla Hernández.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Perla Hernández.
Tengo 3 niños, uno en la elementary, uno en la middle y uno en la high school. Woodland High School, Woodland Middle School y Featherbed Lane.
I have 3 students, elementary in Featherbed Lane, and Woodland Middle School and Woodland High School, 3 children.
Estoy aquí porque quise aportar un poquito de lo que la comunidad latina también piensa acerca de la educación.
I'm here because I want to tell you a little bit about what the Hispanic or Latino community thinks about education in BCPS.
Tengo 7 años de vivir en el condado de Baltimore y como todos ustedes, yo sé realmente lo que es tener a nuestros hijos en estas escuelas.
I've been living in the county for 7 years, and like all of you, I know what is the experience to have our children in this school system.
Punto número 1. Tenemos que empezar. Algo que dijo la superintendente, perdón, que me encantó fue que dijo que íbamos a trabajar juntos. Y eso realmente, señora, mis respetos, eso me encantó.
First thing, Superintendent, thank you so much. You said something that really touched my heart. You said we're going to work together, and that really touched my heart. I love it.
Pero aparte de eso, necesitamos ver realmente lo que está pasando en el sistema. No podemos seguir dejando que Baltimore County lo sigan viendo como escuelas mediocres.
But also we need to be realistic. We need to really work hard because we cannot let the other people see Baltimore County Public Schools as a mediocre system.
Ya no podemos seguir en eso. Número 1, no podemos dejar que nuestros mejores maestros se nos están yendo por falta de muchas cosas que se les están quitando a ellos. Necesitamos más maestros y necesitamos que se pongan a hacer un plan para que nuestros maestros no se nos vayan, porque créanme que tenemos excelentes maestros en Baltimore County.
We cannot let this go on. We cannot allow our best teachers, because we have amazing teachers, and we are just seeing them how they live because we cannot retain them. That is unfair. We need to retain our teachers because they are amazing and they work really hard. We need to offer them what they need in order to stay.
Yep. One more point, one more.
Si realmente pusieran a trabajar a todas las personas que están sentadas en un escritorio y que no están haciendo lo que los maestros están haciendo, yo creo que las cosas mejorarían. Los invito a que estas personas empiecen a trabajar duro y empiecen de la mano a ir con los maestros y ver qué realmente están pasando en las escuelas y darle la oportunidad a los jóvenes. Preguntarle a los jóvenes de las escuelas qué necesitan. Dejen de tomar las decisiones por ustedes y empiecen a consultar a los jóvenes, a la comunidad. Gracias.
We cannot allow the people who have these high jobs on at a desk, make the decisions. They should be going into the classrooms and work hand in hand with the teachers so they know in the forefront what is happening. And the same people that work in those places should be listening to the students because they are the ones who have the experiences and they are the ones who need to talk to us in order to shape. So my thing is, these people who work on a desk, please, you have to start working for us, not for you.
All right. Thank you. I know we bent the rules a little bit there, but I think that was powerful, so we'll let that slide. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, that was a hard act to follow. I'm Susan Turner, LRB, and I'm a proud magnet teacher at Randallstown High School. I am so glad that you came before me because our table discussed the aspirations and the hopes for BCPS. We want more bilingual magnet programs and or language magnet programs throughout the entire county. And the second part of this actually comes from my now soon-to-be 11th grade student who will be at Carver, who's home now doing CCB classes. When she was at the last meeting, she said, I believe that we should also have courses for non-English speaking parents that would be free of charge, that we can be professional development for the teachers that teach these so that we can have teachers who don't speak, parents who don't speak English, able to communicate and learn the language as well. And this came from my now junior high school student. And that's what we believe that we should do. You want to be diverse, you want to have proper communication, let's do it that way.
All right, we hear you. Thank you. Thank you. No?
One phenomenal staff. That's one thing we're talking about, what we do well. Phenomenal staff at RHS in general. And we also know that And as far as what else? And Owings Mills, also at Owings Mills at Randallstown High School. And also, one of the things that we know that needs to be improved is that we need to also bring back the vocational programs in each of the schools and the middle schools so that the kids can be certified in a skill when they leave here. So that they can be, because back in the day, we had those skills, finance, auto mechanics, we had all of these things, and students, and culinary, thank you. We had all of these things, and students were able to get jobs. We need to go back to that.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
I don't get to hold it. Okay, all right. Hello, my name's Ashley. I am a mother of two. I have one at Sudbrook, one at Newtown Elementary School. I also went through the BCPS system. I said it right this time. And so one of the things that BCPS does well is communicate with parents. But I want to say, when I came in, one of the things that came up was the extended day programs. I didn't know about that, so I missed the communication on that. So, I don't know, catch-22 there. Hopes and dreams. Excellent learning. We want to have 100% graduation rate. We need more graduation. I think we're doing pretty well with that, but we can always do better. And then the one that I want to talk about in areas for immediate need is identifying people with children with needs. So my daughter actually was diagnosed recently with ADHD. She's 13 years old. I had questioned her learning early on in her schooling, and none of the teachers were able to help me connect the dots early on. It was actually her that brought it to my attention. So I would love to see more partnership when that's concerned.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Helen Groves. I'm a special educator at Cantfield Early Learning Center. Our table has a diverse group of all of the stakeholders in the county. We agreed with several other groups that the staff in general, that includes not just our educators, our teachers in the classroom, but also our para-educators and those support staff who make everything possible, is fantastic. In terms of hopes and dreams, a member at our table stated that Dr. Yarbrough's core ideal really spoke to her, and we hope that you stay true to your why. The students, please do not allow politics to sway your thinking or bureaucracy to get in the way of what's most important, which is exactly what you stated. So, and then what we'd like to see improved in general is the limited mental health resources, and more than that, the knowledge of how to access those resources. Because in a lot of areas, it's not that they don't exist, but it's that the access to it is very limited.
Good evening. My name is Shannon Dawkins. I am a BCPS staff person in the Division of Human Resources, also in the community, and a former BCPS parent of a graduate during COVID. We talked about one of the things that BCPS does well is feeding students year-round. The aspiration and hope for BCPS immediately is open and transparent communication from the top down. And an area of improvement that we would like to see addressed immediately is efficient, clear expectations, processes that are measurable. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is beloved Joshua Simons. I'm 15 years old and I go to Randallstown High School for the engineering program, and I am the second vice president for the NAACP Randallstown Youth Council of Baltimore County. And the first question is, what does BCPS do well that you would like to see us continue? The thing that we like to see us continue is the recognition of students, because there are students that come to teachers and asking for help, and most teachers, they actually go to those students and go to those parents and actually ask and help them with whatever they need. So that's one of the things that we would love for y'all to continue. The second question is, what are your aspirations and hopes for BCPS? One of the aspirations at our table combined collectively agreed on is better teacher-student ratio, because there are some schools that have one teacher and like 30 students in one room, and it's really crowded in that school system or in that school building. So we would like to see a better teacher-student ratio in those schools. And for the third question, what are 2 areas of improvement that you would like to see addressed immediately? One of those things is transportation, because there are some students in schools that go to those schools for magnet programs, and those students live like 30 minutes away, maybe, and they don't have that kind of transportation to get there. And that second thing is a quote-unquote hub for different school clubs to come together and combine their skills and, you know, just like have fun, because there are some schools that are like, they go to those clubs and there's not a lot of things that they can do anymore because they've already done a lot of things. So there could be more like ideas if they come together. So thank you.
I'm a special educator at Franklin High School. I'm also a parent. I'm the class advisor for 2026. I wear many hats. But one thing that my table said BCPS does very well, just their students feel loved and appreciated. So thank everybody that takes a hand in raising somebody else's kid. Their aspirations and hopes, they were talking about the school ratings. They wanted to know where they come from, where do they go from here. 2 areas of improvement, better ways to motivate our students. And for me, special education. We used to have a dance that went together, that's gone. We used to have an arts festival, that's gone. So for special ed, for me, myself, I would like to see that improved.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Karen Braithwaite-Yarn. I'm a former parent of 2 students that graduated from Baltimore County Public Schools in the GT program, went to college, the first semester called back and said, "Mommy, thank you, GT." Okay? That made such a difference in their grades. Okay, so what would we like to see? More support for our teachers to increase teacher salaries and incentives. Our hopes for BCPS: mandatory implicit bias training, communication with families, and trainings on how to interact and react to Black male students. And lastly, in reference to improvements, financial literacy for students K through 12.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you. Did we miss any tables or any groups with chart paper? Look at that, guys. We got through it. That is exciting. So now we're going to move to our question and answer portion of the evening. Before we do that, can we just give a hand? Principal Mike Jones, where are you? Thank you so much for hosting us. Don't run away. Don't run away. You all have been talking about improvements. Randallstown High School had a 10-point increase in their graduation rate last year. So Principal Mike Jones deserves a hand. Thank you. Not only is he getting kids across the stage, he's providing us snacks. So when you're leaving tonight, grab a bottle of water, grab some snacks out in the lobby, and thank you, Principal Jones, for your hospitality and for hosting us. All right, Dr. Yarbrough, this is your time. Again, we're going to walk around with the mics. Please put your hand up if you have a question. A reminder, don't take the mic, and keep your question to 30 seconds, please. I know you want to share the background and all of that. You can write that down, okay? Let's get to the question so we can get to as many people as possible.
Okay, yes? Sure. Who has okay.
Buenas noches a cada una de las personas presentes. Mi nombre es es Karim Noriega. Me acompañan mis hijos Catherine y Jeremy.
Hello, I am Mrs. Noriega, and Catherine and Jeremy are my children. They are here with me.
Es un gusto saludarla, doctora. Somos parte de la organización LIVE, misma que nos brinda herramientas en la búsqueda de un mejor futuro para nuestros hijos.
Thank you, Dr. Yarbrough. We belong to the organization named LIVE, and this is for the advancement of our children.
Mis hijos estudian en escuelas del condado y creo que uno de los retos que se nos presenta como padres es la falta de programas extracurriculares en nuestra área. Por ejemplo, en verano nuestros hijos no tienen acceso cercano a campamentos o programas que estén ubicados en la cercanía donde vivimos o en sus mismas escuelas.
One of the things that we would like to have is extracurricular activities or access to activities during the summer. There are some, but they are not in our area. They are not distributed equally. So we don't have access during the summer or maybe after school.
La mayoría están ubicados o son solo para escuelas de la ciudad. Gracias al LIVE podemos acceder a algunos, pero no todos tienen acceso como nosotros lo tenemos, por el idioma o por cualquier otra circunstancia. Así también no contamos con un apoyo y soporte para padres que brinde herramientas de educación en casa para ayudar en la convivencia de alumnos y maestros.
And we would like to have access to all these activities, and also to have access for parents for they learn more about the programs that the school system offers. ¿Tiene una pregunta?
No, solo es más que darle como sugerencias a ella, pero sí una pregunta.
¿Algo más? Porque estamos con el tiempo.
Solamente.
Okay. And that would be all, just to share with you that this is what we would like to have as a community for parents.
Thank you very much for sharing. In terms of extracurricular activities, our plan is for all of the schools to receive their allocations in early August. So if you inquire at your school, you should find out what those extra activities are that are available to your students, and we'll certainly take back your comments around summer. So thank you. The microphone.
Hi, it's me again. What is the goal of the board to have our seniors on track for graduation and ready for college and career readiness?
So I certainly cannot speak officially for the Board of Education, but I can say beyond a shadow of a doubt, all of us are working towards making sure that all of our students are equipped for success beyond the four walls of Baltimore County Public Schools. And so as recently as today, we were talking about the new guidelines from Blueprint with college career readiness, what additional pathways we're going to have for our students, and how incorporating more early learning opportunities are going to help us in the long run in terms of meeting the needs of all of our high school students.
Good evening, Dr. Yarbrough. So one thing I have not heard mentioned much at all tonight is arts education in Baltimore County. According to the Blueprint, every school, public school K through 12 is supposed to ensure that every child has access to comprehensive arts education in all disciplines. Baltimore County does a decent job, but we absolutely understand that 100% of schools in Baltimore County are not fully equipped to make sure they honor that legislation that is required by law for our students. So I'd like to know what your stance or your position is making sure that we're following the law, that every student in the state, particularly in Baltimore County, grades K through 12, have access to all arts discipline.
So my stance is we will always follow and comply with the law, not only because it's the law, because it's what's right for students. And so the Blueprint, we're working through all of the individual pillars, making sure that in many areas we will probably be ready before. One example of that is taking a look at our teacher salaries. It's 2026 when we were supposed to be at 60,000. Currently, we are the second highest paid starting salary for our teachers at 58,500. CTE is another one of our pillars. We currently, Baltimore County Public Schools, has the highest percentage of students enrolled in and earning certifications in CTE. And as we go through all of the pillars, including early childhood, including the career lattice, it is our goal to make sure that we are not only compliant, but we are exceeding what the legislation says that we need to do for our students, because it's the right thing to do, particularly as we move forward on our #1 goal of making sure that every student has access to high quality instruction and moving forward and performing in terms of academic achievement. Every component, including arts education, will be a part of our work. It is a requirement for the state, but it is also the right thing to do. We have STEAM programs currently where we are integrating science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. We are planning, I believe we have some art camps running right now at certain schools. We have some magnet programs for arts, but in terms of a comprehensive look, it is certainly our goal to be compliant and to meet arts education as well as any and all other components that are part of the blueprint. Mm-hmm.
Good evening, thank you. Can you lift it up a little? I'm short. One of the barriers that we find throughout Baltimore County Public Schools are students being able to be fairly tested for identification for IEPs or 504s. I fought 22 months to get my daughter tested when it showed through her grades and reports that she needed it, and when it was tested, it was confirmed. My question to you is, not just this Office of Special Education, what will you be able to do with the 111,000 students through Baltimore County Public Schools to ensure that those parents and teachers that are advocating for students to be assessed, in order to identify them with special needs or disability, to ensure that they get accuracy services and not be stagnated by the department chair who feels that they should not be assessed?
So thank you for that question. And my response is very simple. The law is clear. Once there is a request, a direct request for assessment, the clock starts ticking. And so, well, thank you for sharing that. We will follow up to make sure that that information is reiterated to everyone, but it's not an area where there's a lot of gray. There's a law and a statute that we have to follow. So thank you for sharing that. We have ample opportunity with new educator orientation, with principal conferences that we're having later on this week, as well as with A&S in August, where we can share feedback that we've received from the community. I appreciate you raising that. This is, the first time out of the 8 community meet and greets that it's happened, but it's certainly something that we're going to capture and certainly something that we'll bring back. Thanks.
Good evening. My name is Tiange Waynes, and my question is in regards to what the lady back there mentioned about students learning languages besides French and Spanish. What other languages are we planning on having students learn within the Baltimore County public school systems? I know that Howard County children are allowed to learn Chinese and, Korean and things like that. Not every child wants to learn French and Spanish. And my son especially is really interested in Japanese, and I'm not really sure what the plan is for that, for children to learn languages within the public school system, so that way they can be prepared for the real world. Because in order to be competitive today, you really have to know languages outside of English, pretty much. And, we're competing with China right now, we're competing with Korea, we're competing with Japan, and there's children in other public school systems. I went to Montgomery County, and I know that we learned languages at an earlier age. I would like to know what the plan is for that.
So currently, we have some schools that offer some of the language that you were speaking to specifically. I will share with you, as a former high school principal and a former middle school principal, the way that you make those determinations are based on student interest. When there is that period of time right before January where students are able to share what their interests are, that is how you make the determination of the language. And then, of course, you have to find the match in terms of a highly qualified teacher. And so if you feel there is a need in your child's school, I would advocate that your child certainly share that with administration. And administrators are going to look at, particularly when we speak to some of the comments that were made before about some classes having more students than others, it's based on enrollment. And so when we allocate staffing, meaning we allocate the total number of teachers for a school. You want to look at the sections. You have a full section based on the number of students who have signed up for a course. And so I think students can really help to drive adding new programs and new courses, of course, if we're able to find a teacher to staff it. But I think the first step would be having that conversation with school-based administration. But we certainly have the languages that you were speaking about in different schools, including some languages like Latin that you didn't mention, based on the interests of the students. Look.
And it was through a magnet, through the lottery system that your child had to go through.
So if you're in a magnet, you can be in a magnet or an international baccalaureate program that's specifically for languages. However, you don't have to be in a magnet program to access language. All of our high schools have language courses, all 24 of them. And so you'll almost always likely find French and Spanish, as you've indicated, because those are the top languages of choice. However, as you look at the, and I would encourage you to go on the websites of other schools or go directly to our website for curriculum and instruction, the Office of World Languages, and then you'll be able to identify the staff member who can help you. But we have languages in all of our high schools. You're welcome.
I'm Vicki Alman, former chair and member of the Baltimore County Council. Good evening. Thank you. Over the years, I have seen that in order to serve our students better, our facilities need help. We have the oldest collection of buildings in the state, and in order to serve our kids better, I would like to see the process be a little more transparent about how we either add things to our schools, like turf fields, or how we make improvements, whether it's painting, whether it's plumbing, whether it's electricity. I think the process needs some tweaking and someone to take a look at it.
Thank you for sharing that.
We have one more question here. All right. We notice in different school systems, especially here in Baltimore County, that there are incentives to bring in newer teachers. A lot of pay is going towards bringing them in. So what are some incentives to retain the highly effective and effective educators that have been here for numerous years? You mentioned pay scales. What are some other things that are going to be put into place to keep teachers, librarians, et cetera, here in Baltimore County?
Well, I appreciate that question because it's my understanding that as of today, there was agreement reached on incentives that we're providing to our incumbent teachers. And so if that information has not yet been posted, it will become publicly available very soon because I agree with you 100%. Part of our efforts are around recruitment, but then the other part are around retention. And so retention is not only in terms of compensation, but it's also addressing your very real working conditions. And so it's my belief that we all have come together, school system leadership as well as union leadership, to identify what those things are, and they will be announced very shortly, but absolutely to come.
Thank you, Dr. Yarbrough. I know we are over time. We want to respect everyone's time. And so a reminder that there are question feedback cards on the table. So if we didn't get to you, please write your question down. I promise that we are taking every single question, compiling them along with the themes that were shared on the chart. So Dr. Yarbrough has a few remarks to share in closing about what she's heard tonight. And then again, just a reminder that this is really just the first step. You're going to have many more opportunities to engage with our superintendent throughout the school year. So Dr. Yarbrough, if you want to wrap us up.
Yes, thank you. A few themes from this evening. Recruitment and retention, which we just ended on, that our staff are going to be the key to our success. So certainly our efforts have been made clear in terms of recruitment and retention, and you should expect to see, as we move forward through the school year, additional efforts to make sure that all staff members feel valued, feel included, and are able to share feedback on a regular basis. We've also heard some information about feedback around overcrowding in our schools and looking at the infrastructure. And so certainly we are in partnership with our external partners. We also are working closely to implement the plan in the My iPass, but we also are looking at for other innovative ways to address the needs of our students, making sure that everyone has top-notch facilities. You were correct. We are the third oldest set of school buildings across the state of Maryland, and we are excited to be growing, but with that comes some challenges with a finite amount of dollars. We are grateful that we've been able to leverage additional grant funds to move forward with projects, and so we're definitely taking that feedback forward. And the last thing that I would touch on would be make sure that we meet all the social emotional learning needs of our students, as well as safety. One parent stopped me, and I know he raised his hand several times and the microphone didn't come, and his question to me is, if there was a horrific incident in Baltimore County Public Schools, would I try to apply pressure to our police partners so they could go in, or would I pause, as we've seen in some other places? And what I said to him, I'm happy to share with the group, is number one, we have a strong partnership with the Baltimore County Public Police Department. The chief is definitely in support of us, as well as our liaisons, which two of them were here with us, both Sergeant Knox and Lieutenant, hello, and we have Lieutenant Thomas stepped out. Nice to meet you. Captain Hartman is also here. So we have a strong relationship with them, and absolutely, I shared with you at the beginning, my number one accomplishment, greatest accomplishment that guides me in all the decisions I make are my 4 children. And so the very same thing that I would want for them when they go to school, that is what I would advocate for on behalf of your students, no matter what, and especially in an emergency situation. Lastly, I just want to thank you guys for coming out. The room is filled. You are number 8 of 8. I am excited. I am appreciative of all your support. I thank you for engaging with me. I thank you for sharing what your experiences and challenges have been. We will have several other opportunities for you to share with us whether or not we're making progress in the right areas, and as well for you to partner with us to solve the problem. Again, we said last year, I'm going to say it again, we are open. We are looking for parents and community members to help out in schools before school, during lunch, and after school. Those are the 3 times where we need you the most. We can't do this important work of moving forward, teaching and learning for all of our students and making sure that they feel valued and welcome and included without you. So I thank you for being here tonight, and I'm hopeful to see you throughout the year. Thank you.